So yeah, let's get started.
I think Dreamland is definitely like Peach favored, but that's fine.
I just think striking against Peach is to end up on Dreamland a lot. Wow. I love that
I mean,
grab
Alright.
yeah.
right off the start.
So yeah, start off getting grabbed pretty early.
Wow.
Very
I
very
love that
important,
grab
obviously,
right off
to
the start.
kind of know the range where you can pull turnips safely. Not to say that you can never grab turnips otherwise, but that's
I feel like
very
there's not a
common
shield
for
drop
Peach
there,
players
but
to
he's got
get
the
grabbed
roll
/
like
run
my
up forward
shield drop
smash by
would've
Marth
gotten,
or whatever
better.
when they pull turnips unsafely. Ooh, that was so close to being good.
Probably better.
Yeah, in this type of scenario, when you're pretty much below Sheik, like in this scenario, to ensure not to get hit by needle, you should start drifting to the left here as soon as possible. Because what happens here, as we can see, is that the needle barely saves Sheik here. But if Pelipper started drifting to the left here a little bit earlier, then it would have been a nair,
Yeah, like
and
a lot
then
of the
possibly a
neutrals
good
this time,
scenario
like,
from it.
They seem like
2D fighter spacing.
they're always right by each.
Like
They seem like
2D fighter spacing.
When you do these aerials as Peach, one thing to keep in mind, maybe Pelipper has played against this Sheik player a lot of times, but one thing to keep in mind, when you do these aerials and you send Sheik away, right? If you pull this turnip and they arms attack, then you actually get no punish. So that's something to keep in mind, that if you play against a player that tend to arms attack, never pull that turnip. Because if they go off stage, you still have time to pull the turnip, pretty much always. But if you pull the turnip and they did tech, then it's like, well, you didn't get anything from this. So that's very important to keep in mind. Especially since arms attack is like relatively common these days too.
They're always right by each other in like this. They seem like
2D fighter spacing.
they're always right by each other in like.
Okay, so in these type of scenarios, throwing turnip.
By
Yo, Cobb, thank you for the 18 months, buddy. So yeah, throwing the turnip, Sheik catch the turnip. What I like to do here, if I think Sheik is actually gonna try challenging me, is just put out a backer. Putting out a backer here is nice. There, massive hitbox, stays out for a long time, and pretty much like nothing bad can happen from it in this scenario. But I would still recommend pulling back with the backer in case Sheik actually doesn't throw it and grab the ledge. You don't want to get like, oh, they grab the ledge, jump fair. So, backer and pulling back. Osiris, thank you for the prime, buddy. Welcome to Brotherhood.
other in like this.
But yeah, now
They seem like they're
no
all
move was thrown out,
They're always
and
right
the
by
turnip
each
hits
other
Pelipper
in,
instead.
Like this footsies kind of area.
It's a lot of
They're always right by each other. In,
Also,
like,
I will
this
lower this commentary a
footsies
little bit
kinda
actually.
area.
Quite loud.
And then it's just like almost like a battle of it. Oh no, he could have
Sorry about that.
in like this footsies kind of area. Each other in like this footsies kind of area.
Ooh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Pelipper should have been dead there. Yeah. In these type of scenarios, if you actually do float towards Sheik like here, as like if you get hit here, you're most likely dead. So it's a huge risk. But if you're gonna do it, I normally would prefer very early aerials. So at the very least, you get a trade, because at this percentage with Sheik at 85, she will go quite far away on a trade. So then you still most likely will be fine. But here we didn't see any like aerial whatsoever, and yeah, that should have been death. That should have been death. Also, very common for Sheik players against Peach is that they do a lot of these type of short up fairs, slightly pulling back. A lot of these fairs are actually not, on average, that good. Like Peach's down tilt are very good against these type of forward airs, or actually also run dash attack. In most type of scenarios. Now I know it was a roll from the ledge, but just more generally speaking. For me personally, I think it's harder when the Sheik tries to, go in with the fair a little bit. Shroomed, Android, Plop, among others, were quite good at using the fairs a little bit more aggressively rather than like pulling back slightly. Sheik's aerial mobility is so bad as well, so she doesn't really, you know, go back much at all. Yeah, in those type of scenarios as well, something to keep in mind, Peach has a very good recovery in terms of like, unless she dies to the side, she will make it back. So in these type of scenarios, when you're about to get F-tilt, hold out. Even if Sheiks go for a down smash here, you're not gonna die at like this percentage on Dreamland. So holding out, and she's not gonna get a fair. But again, if she down smash, you're still not dead. So it's basically like, how do you say? If she F tilts, you avoid the fair. If she down smash, you're still not dead. So it's the same thing when you recover with fast fallers and you like up B, Sheik stands in this position and F tilts, hold out. Like, or it's the same in the sense that if they F tilt, then it's pretty much always better to just hold out. If they down smash, you're probably dead in the Spaces case anyway. But in this scenario, you're surviving but taking less damage. Yeah, air dodges as a recovery tool is fine. It's just important to like keep in mind to not do it too often. Good players against Peach will be looking out for the air dodges. They're actually very hard to get away with against really good players. So I would use it more as like, you know, an occasional trick. Yeah, that up B was quite late. The thing with that happens here, since this up B is so late, is that you're losing so much height, so you're already, here you're dead. Here you're dead. Or you should be dead, because you're not gonna make it back from that against a good player. Basically, my point is that if you lose too much height, it makes it significantly easier for the person edge guarding you. And in this scenario, you went down way too much, and then you fast fell very early as well. But yeah, not the best execution from your opponent. Yeah. Easy habit for a lot of Peach players to have, but down smash against Sheik is actually not good in a lot of scenarios. Sheik's shield is the best in the game. It will literally never ever shield poke her. Like against some characters, if they have bad shield AI, they will get poked. But with Sheik, even if you have awful shield AI, you will practically never ever get shield poked. So a lot of down smashes should just be replaced by grab or moving away, or occasionally maybe attacking. But down smashes pretty much will never win you these type of situations against Sheik. Yeah, this is a rough scenario. Peach at the ledge kind of sucks. You don't really have too many things from the ledge, really. Like, occasionally, maybe like an early umbrella, hope it hits. Sometimes roll, sometimes get up attack. Sometimes, you know, fall from the ledge, jump, then attack. You don't really have any amazing option. Even the ledge stuff Leffen was talking about, if I remember correctly, even if you're frame perfect, you're still not fully invincible, which means that every long-lasting move will still hit you, even if you're frame perfect. But it could still be used. Okay. That was quite lucky.
Barely make. Okay, yeah. So he gets blown off by Whiskey into the down smash. Probably still would have died. Blown off by Whiskey into the down smash. Probably still would have died. Right. So that was kind of an. It just added to it. Right. So that was kind of an example. Like he gets.
Actually, on Sheik's down throw to up tilt, what I like to do is smash the eye diagonally upwards away from Sheik. Then she can't really follow up. It's not really a true thing. So on the down throw, I tend to DI behind Sheik. Then, so let's say Sheik is facing to the left. So then I DI behind Sheik. So I DI, behind her. And then I SDI as Sheik's up tilt is about to hit me, diagonally upright. And then she can't follow up from the up tilt into like another fair, for example.
Right. So that was kind of an example. Like it just added to it. Right. So that was kind of an example. Like he gets the down throw.
Yeah, that's quite a bit too close. Over here, like, you're not really going to be able to land anything. Normally, when you have someone at the ledge, you more want to be in a position where they can't really hit you immediately, but you still don't give them enough space to work with. Like, often when you see, let's say, Hungerbox against Marth is actually a good example of what I'm talking about here. When Marth is on the ledge, Hungerbox is kind of like in that range where Marth doesn't really reach him, but his backer is still really fretful. That's kind of what you want to do with Peach in a few of these matchups as well. I know Sheik does have a ledge dash, but even then, like, it's not like, oh, just because Sheik ledge dash, she gets something for free. So it's more like you want to be pretty close, but not super close.
That was kind of an example. Like he gets the down throw and he can extend it by up tilting, but then you're like.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. He might not even have thought about it, but if a turnip bounces on a shield, as we can see here, actually, let me just close the window. Like, all the traffic is a bit loud. I'm not sure if the mic is picking up on it, but just in case it does. Just in case it does, I don't want it to be... Alright, so we see the turnip bounces here, and then you throw the turnip on the first turnip, and now you basically just left yourself completely wide open.
You're like kind of playing RPS at that point. You get a block, extend it by up tilting, but then you're like kind of playing RPS at that point.
Yeah, those type of down tilts really often get grabbed. I did that a bit too much myself. In a lot of these scenarios, instead of the down tilts, I would say grounded float nair is really good. It's very good against Sheiks that like to run in with grabs, which is very, very common. So occasionally just randomly attack, float towards them, low, and do a nair. And even if they shield, you're still good. You still have like frame advantage.
RPS at that point. You could have blocked and then grabbed again.
On this type of percentage, we talked earlier that the eye behind was good against the up tilt, but at this type of percentage, the eye behind is bad. Because what a good Sheik will do here, for example, you can see Mewtwo King doing this very often, among other Sheiks, that if you DI behind, as like Peach, Samus, for example, the Sheik will do an up air, and regardless of where you DI here, Sheik gets either fair or backer. Sometimes maybe even double up air if you go like straight up. So on those type of percentages, I wouldn't really recommend going behind. Then it's just better to eat the fair normally.
You haven't really even been noticing how Pelipper's been getting his hits at all. Like, I can't tell if it's how Pelipper's been getting his hits at all. Like, I honestly haven't really.
Yeah, I would also like to see a little bit more wave dashes back instead of like always leaving the ground. Like this scenario coming up around here, this could have been a good scenario of either staying in place or wave dashing back and then go in as Sheik is about to land. But now you jump, it's an early fair from the Sheik player, and you get hit. And you almost get clipped by the needle too.
I honestly haven't really even been noticing how Pelipper's been getting his hits at all. I honestly haven't really
Yeah, it's a lot of air dodges too.
trades, or if it's like
It's like that kind of thing. Where
Okay.
he's
Oh yeah, the down smash on shield never ever works.
or if it's like
it's like that.
See, Sheik doesn't even have a big shield there, and she's still fine. They are pretty much always a bad idea.
each corner pressure, stuff like that.
Good shield drop. So this shield dropping against Sheik when Sheik is on the same platform as you, I don't think there's a character that cannot use that shield drop. Like it will just beat everyone.
Shield drop characters.
So sometimes you're shielding on platform, the old school just jump out of shield. Sometimes that's good.
I really like that back hit.
Yeah, platform, the old school just jump out of shield. Sometimes that's good.
Hmm.
Sometimes you're shielding on platform, the old school just jump out of shield. Sometimes that's good.
I really like that back air dash attack because it got caliper lower, and then the dash attack connected. And the back air is at the perfect height to
I
do
love
a
this
float.
this high definition display we're looking at plus
Ooh.
The perfect height to
I
do a
love
float.
this high definition display we're looking at.
Yeah, that's like one of the weaknesses with turnips. So
This high
you're throwing a turnip here, and if you think that the Sheik is gonna like try to hit through the turnip and then you, something that could be good here is that you're still throwing the turnip, but instead of trying to attack immediately, is that you start fast falling and then trying to sneak under and then attack instead of going directly at her and getting hit out of it. That's a mix up to it as well. That is quite underused actually. In a similar scenario against Fox, you can throw a turnip. Fox want to shine the turnip back at you. So instead of like going high, like floating high, you can like throw turnip, fast fall under the turnip, and then attack Fox while he's in lag.
and just watch next time she throws them. You'll be able to see where they land.
CRGs are so bad. They are. Okay. These platforms are just so good for Sheik. It's so hard for Pelipper to challenge it. Because Peach is so
Ooh.
slow.
That was a pitch.
Boy howdy.
Yo, Prof, my boy. Thank you for the 39 months. Hope you're doing great, buddy.
The thing though is like I forgot to mention this. It's gonna disappear before it can hit. Like if he throws it.
Ooh, scary, scary. Sheik is actually so good with turnips. Oh, good grab, good grab.
She is really
So many peaches would have down smashed it. Oh,
that to playing
there it was. Yeah, as we say, try to avoid the down smashes. Down smashes are not good in this matchup.
playing brawl where against Diddy
Oh,
the
yeah.
play was
That's scary.
I feel like it would be in a similar way with like 0 6 Samus with the
yeah,
armor.
right, armor pieces. So like he
Back
has
air's so
that
good.
and we've kinda seen him like he had the balls to just catch a stitch, which I wouldn't do that.
I mean, you can't play with fear against Peach.
Mm.
Scared of Peach,
Greedy roll, greedy roll. Honestly, overall, the more I see, I feel like you take to the air very, very much. But then when you're on the ground, you don't really get much worked out normally. Like,
yeah.
You much prefer
I'm sure we'll see more examples in the next game as well. That was a good down there. That was a good down there.
Get away from her.
I don't know if this is death.
I think that's death.
And yeah, that was quite iffy DI.
Don't know if this is death.
Yeah, in that scenario, you just hold fully left. Fully left.
Don't know if this is death.
I think that's death.
Probably didn't matter too much, but you would have survived with proper DI.
I don't think the up. Oh my god. There's no top platform anymore, which is gonna. Oh my god.
Yeah, okay. I feel like it's also a lot of times when you hold a turnip, you always immediately go in. You always go in and very predictably, like the same type of approach every time. So it's like not too hard for your opponent to like,
Oh my
you know,
He did it.
read onto it.
I don't think the up smash was like a good choice.
He probably meant to up tilt.
They could have.
Mm,
He probably meant to up tilt.
yeah, I would like to see you challenge with more grounded stuff when Sheik is in the air. Here's another example where you very clearly could have tried challenging Sheik coming down. If you think an aerial is about to happen, power shield down smash can be good. A straight up dash attack can be good. I would say this is not really the perfect spacing for like a short hop up air, but if the spacing was slightly more different, then that could occasionally be good as well.
And like that was another situation. He gets hit
Yeah, a lot of down smashes still. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah. Uh those type of scenarios can be occasionally annoying against Sheik when she's in this type of range. Sometimes you actually kind of have to guess between if Sheik is gonna go up or if she's gonna go for ledge. And if she goes for ledge, then you roll. If you think she's gonna go up, then you do a regular stand up, and then you take ledge again, or you hit her off. But this type of spacing can be annoying. Uh, Cheek's recovery is not quite as bad in this type of specific scenario. Occasionally, you can also, if Sheik is very close, you can actually drop from ledge and backer. That's occasionally a good idea too. What I like to do instead of grabbing the ledge this early as well, and kind of like tell what you're gonna do, I like to float in this position. I like to keep my float. And if I notice or think that Sheik is about to like start using her up B very close, like more to this area, then I just fast fall backer. And then the startup of Sheik's up B have no invincibility. So that's very, very good, especially when Sheik is at a little bit higher percentage, because even a weak hit will send them far, far enough away where you have enough time to grab the ledge. So yeah, you went to the ledge too early. You didn't have to go to ledge that early.
She got a lot off platform.
Yeah, kind of there too. Like you don't have to go to ledge that early. I feel like you were acting way too early.
She got a lot off platforms. So this.
Also, in this particular instance, you can time your dash attack more early, so you get like more of like push straight away rather than the Sheik flying up. So if you time your dash attack earlier, you could have sent Sheik in a better direction.
The top platform ever. The side platforms are really short, so she can follow up on
Yeah.
stuff easily. Ooh, we got to see some knitting there. Some advanced technical optimized turnip pulling.
So I probably think FD might have been banned.
I can see that.
Yeah, a lot of rolls in as well in kind of panicky situations like here, for example. A lot of those. Be careful because players will catch on to it.
I can see that.
I think it might have been FD because I would have been surprised if he didn't go.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I hate the ledge. I wish I could tell you like a bunch of amazing things regarding the ledge, but I can't really.
Really doesn't throw. There it didn't matter. But after the first one, Peach was on just 100% right.
He threw that after the first one.
Yeah.
I really like how he called out.
Yo, Sarge, thank you for 3 months.
I really like how he called out the float with the run under up air. That was a sick call out. That was a
Actually, one bait I like to do sometimes, if Sheik is on the ledge and I have a turnip and I think they want to catch it, sometimes I do that, like jump with the turnip, let them catch it, and then nair in their face. That can be a pretty good mix-up if they are like super grab heavy against the turnips.
because I don't think any of
Yeah, here, acting way too early again. It's kind of like you're afraid of being at the ledge, even if you have advantage. Yeah, that's one of the number one things you can work on for sure. Partly not going to the ledge as early, and also not always leaving the edge super early, because it happens like every time, both of them.
Alright, ledge dash.
Oh, he got the item.
Yeah, so let's. So A catches items, right, on the ground.
Yeah.
So if you do your aerials with A, well,
Yeah, that was a bit better. That was a bit better.
with tilts, you can like accidentally grab an item when you want to F tilt, for example.
That is really interesting.
So I think that's what happened there, because he probably didn't want to grab the turnip when Peach was coming at him.
Yeah, that's a panic roll in again.
But that can happen sometimes.
I don't really see any wave dashes out of shield. They're actually quite good with Peach.
Right, yeah.
I feel like you should use more wave dash, like backwards to like gain more space
Rare situation.
instead of to always roll in. Okay, yeah, you're dying to this a lot. Not that I'm saying that Peach is good from the ledge, but I feel like you're like, you know, going so far off stage that if even one needle hits you, you're dead. And even if the needle didn't hit you, you're not getting anything out of this anyway. So try to aim more for getting back sooner than what you're currently doing. Wait, is anything gonna happen here? Stadium in a nutshell. Yeah, and as we talked about earlier as well, I want you to be closer. Like, you're basically staying up here, like, this far away from the ledge. You're basically telling Sheik that she can do whatever she wants. She doesn't have to, like, respect anything. Even if she tournament winners, you're not going to be anywhere near being able to punish it. Yeah, way too far away. I would say more, like, around this range-ish is more fine. Yeah, that's good. That's good. A little bit slow, but the right idea. Like backer, and then Sheik is up in the air, and you throw out in hitbox very, very early. That's very important in this matchup. No. Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was way too early. In that scenario, Sheik didn't really have anything she could do. Yeah, I would also, yeah, I would still recommend those fast fall backers when Sheik is about to up B. We're gonna, like, if you still had the float here, and then Sheik is about to up B now, and then you could have just hit her out of it. Like, test it out in friendly so you get more comfortable. Yo, Dungus, thank you for the 110 bits. Yeah, okay, also in these type of scenarios, alright. It's mainly two things I want to talk about here. In those type of scenarios, when you're floating, Sheik is staying on the ground, I would say if you think Sheik is about to jump up trying to hit you, that's when you fast fall down with a super early aerial. So at worst, you hopefully trade. At best, you straight up win. If you think... so yeah. Okay, wait. So let's repeat. So if you think Sheik is about to jump up, that's normally when you want to do a fast fall, early aerial, hopefully win. If you do not think Sheik is gonna like leave the ground, but gonna stay grounded instead, then do not throw out an early aerial whatsoever. Because if you do, then it's much easier for her to just like wait it out and then beat you afterwards. Yeah, me and Android have played this matchup a lot, but in the past few years, we didn't play as much by any means. I'll recommend down throw here. The reason why down throw is better is because the edge, if Sheik DIs behind and roll away, the edge will stop her. So in those type of scenarios, I would rather just go for a down throw and then try to tech chase. No. It wasn't the worst, but I would have recommended another up air. It's kind of like, why not? Sheik is very bad aerial mobility wise. So, yeah, just another up air and then try to keep up the advantage.
down throw fair, less of a confirm. Peach doesn't really kill off the top either, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, that was a dash attack when Sheik is in there. A little bit more of those as well.
Yeah.
Especially on lower damage where dash attack can lead to like devastating things, but it's good as an anti-air. Those type of dash attacks are good. Not to like spam always, of course, but that was like I think the first successful one we saw.
Pelipper hasn't been doing horrible dash attacks.
yeah.
I haven't seen him do a dash attack this whole time. I'm so happy about it because it makes shield stopping so much more of like a
Reverse golf cart.
oh.
Yeah, his shield stops have been good. He's still got one chance.
Yeah, again acting way too early. Like it doesn't serve any point grabbing the ledge this early. If anything, it's much easier grabbing it at the last second because then you have the invincibility from grabbing the ledge as well.
He's still got one chance.
Okay.
And it's not only that you do that, but it also how do you say, like you still have more options available than if you have already committed to the ledge.
This is real tough though. He can't.
Yeah, you can also work on your float cancel movement. It's kind of like shaky when you kind of like miss fast falls, and
This is real tough though. He can't eat any aerials.
yeah,
Jumping there is really hard.
yeah, there's a good example.
I like that. He went for the fair. She's been mixing up what he's been doing out of down throw, which has been good.
Yeah.
Skip needles.
He's been getting out of the corner in a very similar way. I feel like
Yo, what a turtle! Thank you for 41 months.
grab or something.
That was another wink.
Yeah, still way too far away. She gets back up for absolutely free.
3 of them. That's a stitch. Hi.
No. As soon as this turnip hits, you have to be ready to grab the ledge. Right here, this match should be over. Right here, the match should be over.
Hi.
You have enough time, to get in position to threat the Sheik when she's about to take the ledge, and you can grab the ledge safely in time. But now you're way too slow, and Sheik is back on.
Oh, wow. Another power shield grab.
Oh, but he kind of misses it because of the stadium slope. Good dash attack though. She's playing this high percent last stock situation amazing.
He's playing
Just
it
not
great.
not letting Pelipper get anything. Run up down tilt. She loves down tilt. It's really good versus.
Oof, that was close.
That really hurts for Pelipper because like.
No, main thing when you want to edgeguard Sheik as Peach is that you float by the ledge, and then at the last second, you either fast fall backer or you fast fall to grab ledge. One of the two. That's the main thing. Then of course you need to practice your timings with like get up and rolls to beat the certain different options that she can do with up B. And then they change if you have 100% or not. So that can be a little bit more tricky, but they're very clearly worth it to grind out. But in this set, what we see wrong with the edge guards is mainly never ever going off to backer Sheik startup on the up B, and we always see grabbing the ledge super early. So that's the main flaws here.
Yeah. He was at one. Oh.
Pelipper probably.
That what? I don't know.
Pelipper probably bans.
Yoshi's yeah no. I don't know.
Pelipper probably.
That
Oh.
I don't know.
Pelipper probably.
That what? I don't know.
Pelipper probably bans.
That what?
Yeah. Also, I would say it's like a lot of these type of scenarios, like aerial battles, where Pelipper ends up losing way too much. I would say if you are gonna be in the air, you should throw out way more early attacks, like assuming, like sometimes you have to guess, right? A lot of people have this idea that certain top smashers react to everything in neutral, which is not true. Many times you have to guess what your opponent is going to do in advance and knowing what options they have available, and then like what options do I have that is good against these type of options? So in some of these type of scenarios, if you're gonna be in the air, I would say throwing out early moves can be a good idea. Peach have like huge hitboxes. A lot of the aerials are quite fast, like backer, nair, they're both quite fast. Or I would say being a bit more on the ground is also fine, and trying to punish Sheik as she's coming down. And dash attack and down tilts are the two main things. But also if you think that you're not going to have enough time, or you don't have like the timing down to punish with either of these moves, and you think Sheik might shield after she comes down, then just a run up grab can be fine, for example.
Yoshi's, yeah, no, never mind. My bad.
I think this is reasonable.
Yeah, the down smash, yeah, they never work out. They never work out.
Yeah, this is reasonable. This is where I would go.
Also, fair after these type of turnips are never actually gonna work out. It's way too slow.
Oh, he just takes the down smash. Dash attacks out.
No, I wonder if that was an intended dash attack.
Then you can forwards for every character. So you can actually dash attack backwards faster than you can forwards for every character.
Yeah, okay. So one thing I would also suggest here, in these type of tech chase scenarios, is one thing you should prioritize. You should prioritize where Sheik is landing, assume tech in place, and try to cover that. And if she rolls, then you can float, like, you know, alongside the roll and then punish. So a lot of times in reaction situations, it's almost like you assume the fastest option, and you super focus on covering that, and if they don't, then you follow the like slower options. So in this scenario, this position you have here, even more, slightly more to the right, and slightly higher up, making sure that, you know, a strong nair will hit, and if if a mistake happens, the nair is still fine, and then if she rolls, float with the roll and then hit. Here we can see that Sheik is about to land, and you're already starting to pull to the left. You're already assuming that Sheik is gonna roll here, which doesn't happen, and you get nothing. And now you are also above the Sheik. But if you were floating to the position where Sheik was landing, with proper reaction time, that would have been a hit. And you can do, yeah, nair, up air. Nair would have been easier to land, I would say, but upper can be better if you feel confident you will get it, because that will send Sheik upwards, and she's, you know, not that good from the air always.
For the first few frames of dash forward, if you try to push A, you get a
Yeah,
for the first few
these early air dodges. The thing is in these type of scenarios with these early air dodges, your opponent is just expecting them to happen. He's just assuming that, yes, this air dodge will happen. If you just fell down and landed around here, I can almost guarantee you that you would have gotten away with it. In order for him to punish you falling down and just landing here, he would have to guess that in advance. But the thing is, you have not done that a single time, so why would he ever expect it, right? Because these type of air dodges happens like every time, and he's just waiting for it to happen. Yeah, that was alright. You got hit, but what I like here is that sometimes when you get edge guarded by Sheik, if you get close enough to the back air, you will get weak hit. So you will eat less damage and not going as far away. But mainly that you don't eat as much damage since it's a weak hit.
It's so easy to, like, when you have those big moves like Falcon's up air, Sheik's fair, to like get a huge parasol, especially if you mix it up.
Yeah, Sheik has
Get a those big moves like Falcon's up air, Sheik's fair, to like get a huge parasol, especially if you mix it up.
Sheik has pretty good edge guard stuff on Peach. Pretty good edge guard stuff. Yeah, Sheik has pretty good edge guard stuff on Peach, I think. Needles if she goes jab, grab. Good edge guard stuff.
Yeah, those grounded turnips are not really gonna give you anything. The only time if if Sheik is on the ledge and you throw a turnip, the only way throwing a turnip, assuming Sheik is just not doing a regular stand-up, which she should never do, the only way to punish is if you jump with a turnip, you expect her to grab the turnip, and you hit her right after. But in order to do so, you need to like leave the ground as you throw the turnip. If you stay grounded with the turnip, this is not going to lead to anything ever. This is not a good idea from this range, or actually ever. Even if you're further away, if you're too far away, then Sheik has nothing to be afraid of. So yeah, never ever do these type of things. Instead, I would recommend staying in this type of range and then either try to bait Sheik into an early attack, maybe move back and then attack, or try to hit Sheik as soon as her invincibility runs out. Yeah, that's the air dodge again.
What's crazy is when other characters that actually have good fall speeds and like fast stuff. Crazy is when other characters that actually have good fall speeds and like fast stuff start tomahawking.
Falcon's tomahawk
It's so good.
so
Yeah, those nairs I like. Those I like. Yeah, that was also better. Not acting as early, grabbing the ledge as early, waiting out. That's still the pull the turnip though. Arms attack and this turnip would have been devastating. To be fair, this Sheik player have never done it, but I'm just saying it because when you run into Sheik players that do arms attack, those turnips will cost. Those will cost you. Yeah, that was also not too good float cancel movement. So yeah, there again we can see it. You could have a fast fill and then done the aerial to have better frame advantage. Sometimes it can be like really annoying because you're like very high up and you have to like let go of the float and then you don't even get the float cancel. But yeah, in that type of scenario, you did act way too early with the aerial. Yeah. Also, yeah. One of the main things as well is I really think you have to play this matchup more grounded, way more grounded. Shield is good, way dash backward side of shield is good, dash attacks are good, down tilts are good, but the entire game plan seems to be throwing turnips, jumping with turnips, and then attack immediately, or random stray aerials, often in kind of awkward positions where you're very unlikely to come out on top. Yeah, and in this type of scenario as well, as you get fair here, I would not recommend to jump early. I would, if anything, recommend to like go lower, go more to the left, to make sure that you avoid the needles, and you will not be fine since you're at the ledge, but you won't die. But here, since you act very early, jump right away, you have not been drifting to the left at all, the needles are waiting for you, and the stock is gone. Yeah, those scenarios, I'm happy this scenario happened because I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't see a super good example for it. In these type of scenarios, incredibly likely that Sheik will throw needles. What you want to do is more move to the left and try to catch her as she comes down with up air or nair, depending on percentage. Here I would say up air, since it's like, you know, mid percents. Up air could lead to more devastating things, while nair, even on the worst possible DI, probably would not have been leading to anything exceptional. So let's see what happens here. You see, okay, we can already hear. You can see that you're jumping, but you're jumping backwards. You're jumping backwards. You're moving towards the needles, and you get hit. If you a few frames earlier here, if you a few like in this scenario, if you used pull left here, you would have won this scenario, guaranteed. Guaranteed. If you jumped towards with up air, you would have won. Sometimes short up upper could be better. Sometimes full hop upper based on percentage and stuff as well. But the fact that you drift backwards here lost you the neutral exchange. Those type of scenarios when Sheik is about to land on platforms as well, or leaving a platform and then landing on the ground, those are some of the key scenarios to beat Sheik. Not only as Peach, but in other matchups too. If you were a Falco, for example, and you were standing like on the ground before you were jumping here, this is a perfect scenario for Falco to dash up, short hop, and then shine, for example. Or just like, yeah, jump right away if you're like running. So these type of scenarios are key scenarios. When Sheik is landing on the platform, sneak under if you can. If you can't, then it's better to back off entirely. So let's say you were a little bit further back and it's like, damn, I can't sneak under. I'm not going to make it in time. Then it's better to give up the scenario and let Sheik land safely. Because it's better that she lands safely without you taking damage than that you challenge when you can't win. In this scenario, though, you could have challenged, you should have challenged, but you pull back and you lose the scenario. Key scenario, key scenario. Yeah, that possibly could have been one as well. Possibly could have been one here as well. Sheik is leaving the ground. She's jumping, doing the needles, you move back. Nothing happens. Possibly could have been a punish. Down smash, I would not recommend here. Sheik players that know what to do here, they will crouch cancel the down smash and then fly back towards the stage instead. This down smash is very, very gimmicky. I would rather recommend back throw if you have time to float pass and do nair or back air, or if down tilt upper kills, I would go for that. Now it's been, I actually don't even remember when I played Sheik last time. Feels like it's been a year, so I don't remember the percentages exactly. But down tilt, if you're right next to Sheik, regardless of DI, down tilt upper are true as long as the percentage is not too high.
It does seem like he's not comfortable playing neutral, or even really.
I feel like
Yeah.
Playing neutral, or even really.
I feel like you are partly afraid. I feel like you're partly afraid and leaving the ledge so early is because your invincibility is out, which we also talked about earlier. So I feel like if you just don't grab the ledge as early or occasionally fall down with backers to challenge, I feel like that's a huge key problem in the matchup for you that would be not solved, but you at least would have like
I feel like
the keys to work with.
but like he's been getting more consistent openings.
Yeah, panic down smash.
Playing the mix-up's really good.
Yeah, he's playing the mix-ups very, very well.
Yeah. You always roll as well. Those rolls, they do win if he goes for the ledge. But he has not gone for the ledge a single time this set, as far as I remember.
Tried it, so that was ADT.
Okay.
As I saw ship level pop out, which that's something that we don't really talk about with like UCF, but I kind of feel like that's something that we don't really talk about with like UCF, but I kind of feel like
Yeah, those scenarios, like, I'm not saying always challenging, but sometimes. These type of scenarios when Sheik is on the side platform and about to run off with fair or needles, especially fair, those type of scenarios you have to be good at threading Sheik in these type of scenarios. Dash attack, down tilt, or grab. Those three things is what you normally want to do, I would say. If they do a very, very early fair, I would say dash attack or down tilt is what I tend to prefer. If they do a very late fair, then if I think they're going to immediately shield because they're afraid of getting punished, then I do grab.
I feel like that should be included. No more 82. Shit sucks.
Alright.
Good job.
That was a good
All right, so that was the set review. I feel like we went over a lot of important parts, but as we also said earlier, Pelipper did send some notes, some questions that he has. So we're gonna go over them as well. We might already have done it in the set review itself, but let's look them over just to see, just to make sure. All right, so one is I get punished a lot for down smashes on shield, thinking it will poke when it doesn't. I think I should just stop doing these entirely versus Sheik, instead mix up between grabbing and watching for roll. Yes. Yeah, that seems right. We did go over this. Sheik's shield is absolutely fantastic, so down smash on shield normally not a good idea. If she has a super small shield, then maybe, but even then, often it doesn't poke. So grab is normally better, and if you start grabbing, the Sheik will start rolling more, and then you start trying to catch those, and then eventually if it's two good players, it's gonna be more like rock paper scissors. Point 2, I need to edgeguard Sheik better. I do a lot of rolls that let him live when I should be doing regular get-ups. I know I need to time these better. Sometimes though it seems like if I wait to do my regular get-up, I'll lose invincibility and get hit by the poof. So yeah, this we also did go over, but to summarize and repeat, grabbing the ledge later, don't act as early. You don't have to grab the ledge super early. You can also challenge with falling with the backers, since Sheik's startup on the up B does not have any invincibility whatsoever. I think it was someone made like some years ago. I'm not sure if this was for 2018 as well, but I know in the past it was someone making YouTube videos of all my edge guards in 2016, 2017, and so on. And I think they categorized it character for character, so you can probably see hundreds of edge guards against Sheik when I do these things I told you. So look at these scenarios and try to remember what I said and mimic these things as good as you can. Number 3, at 38 seconds in, I throw a turnip and try to grab the edge thinking it will hit. He grabs it, and this, this one we went over as well. And what we did talk about was that you can often throw out an early backer nair and you straight up beat it if it's on a close range. 4, I have trouble getting back onto the stage when I am on ledge / off stage but not floating up high. In these situations, what could I be doing better? Yeah, so what we did talk about here was early air dodges. Doing air dodges can be fine. The issue was that you always air dodged back on, more or less. What I would say is that you think that if they're gonna try jump and attack you right away, super early aerial. If not, air dodge occasionally, but if you think that they think you're gonna air dodge, then I would honestly just try to fall down very close to the ledge, but still on stage. But if I feel like that's too dangerous as well, then I would take the ledge. From ledge, you don't really have too many good options, sadly, which we also went over earlier, but it's kind of, you kind of have to pick your poison and hope they mess up. 5, I feel very vulnerable when floating in neutral. I get hit out of my float a lot. Yes, this we also went over. I personally think you play the matchup way too aerial heavy, or yeah, like staying in the air too much. I think Peach in the matchup should much more stay grounded. Dash attack and down tilt is your 2 best combo moves in the matchup. Down tilt I normally try to land when Sheik is doing fade back fairs, slightly fade back fairs, or if they do a fair in place, or maybe even fair slightly approaching. When they do fair and fully approaching, those tended to be harder for me just because they were very unusual for me. But in those type of scenarios, you just jump and attack them early can probably be a good counter as well. Shielding is good. Also, when you start using shield, a lot of Sheiks will try to like squeeze in grabs. Float nair out of shield is very good against that. Just like float up nair randomly can also be very good. And even if they shield, if you time your nair and float cancel properly, you will still, at worst, still be fine. But yeah, no, I feel like we went over a lot of important things here. So Pelipper, I hope this set review was helpful for you. And if you have any additional questions, feel free to ask.